Barnett, who is chairman of the Mobile Republican Party, will introduce Angel Joy Rocker.
It is my pleasure to introduce Angel Joy Rocker. She is a candidate for president for the Republican nomination. Angel Joy Rocker is a professional educator, motivational speaker, writer, and public servant who strongly believes in Republican values. She graduated from the University of North Carolina in Greensboro in 3 years with honors as cum laude. She later received her master's degree in counseling from Georgia State University. She founded a Christian ministry called Kids First America Africa, which promotes family issues such as choice in education and healthcare. She feels that one of her greatest attributes is that she is not a politician, but a public servant who understands the issues that have real meaning to all communities. She is a mentor, a healer, a bold Christian woman fighting for freedom of Americans, and her vision is to broaden the base of the GOP and attract more voters to the party so that we will have a GOP president in the year 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, Angel Joy Rocker.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters, for we are one because we are washed in the blood of Jesus. I first want to thank the GOP of Alabama for leading the nation and being inclusive, including all of the candidates, and reaching out to all Americans. And I want to personally thank Quentin Blunt because his leadership is awesome. And you need to remember, Alabamians, that the great state of Alabama is just important as Iowa and New Hampshire. And you need to remember that Angel Joy Rocker was in Alabama yesterday, she here today, and she will be here tomorrow. And speaking on Iowa, the leadership in Iowa, they stated that they wanted to exclude me from the presidential activities because of my looks. Now let me make a comment about my looks. I'm proud of my brown skin. I'm proud of my wide nose, my big lips, and my kinky hair, but I'm more proud to be a Republican. And I'm going to stay a Republican. I'm going to fight for what is right and for the freedom of the people of Alabama and of all Americans. And I'm not going to leave this party because someone said something about me. I'm not going to leave like Senator Bob Smith. I'm going to stay with my family, and I'm going to fight so that we can be victorious in the year 2000. America is still the richest, most powerful country in the world. But at a time when most Americans should be looking forward to a prosperous, positive future, we find instead widespread concerns. We find an ever-increasing gap between the rich and the poor. We find disappointment, despair, disillusionment, and distrust. We find that America's work values and ethics, increasingly important to the balance of the rest of the world, are increasingly losing importance here at home. We find child violence and hate crime sharply increasing. We find polarization, a lack of assimilation, and the failure of our government, in particular our education system, to provide timely solutions. We find that we are absolutely a nation at risk. Nonetheless, I do believe that these are times of great promise and opportunity for the American people. The 2000 presidential election should offer us a chance to choose a leader who echoes the voices of African Americans, Hispanics, whites, the young, the old, and all Americans. The 2000 presidential election should offer us a chance to choose a leader capable of inspiring to meet that challenge. It is also time to elect more Republicans that can articulate issues that attract Hispanics, African Americans, and other minorities. But it's more important that we have candidates that can articulate these issues in a positive rather than a negative manner. That is why I have declared my candidacy for the 2000 presidential election. This campaign is about inclusion, not exclusion. It's about reaching out to all Americans, not just the rich and the powerful. Campaign elections, they treat us not as individuals, but as robots. Mistrust of this have a medical plan, but we must have insurance for those who work every day. And medical people, by the people, and for the people. Why? Most of us don't even bother to cast ballots. Our political system has become no more than a sewer of character assassinations, half-truths, and these divisive social issues that have little to do with the decisions that must be made. We have two healthcare systems in America. We have one for those who can buy quality and choice, but that group is very small. Most of us have little or no choice when it comes to our healthcare needs. HMOs are the evil eye. They have destroyed that once credible relationship between doctor and patient. We must ensure that all Americans, not just those that's disabled and that can get Medicare and Medicaid, have a medical plan, but we must have insurance for those who work every day. And medical savings plans is a way to develop that and give us freedom so that we can have choice and health care. We also have two educational systems in America. It's unfortunate that many of our children are trapped in public schools that's failing. Now, no one can dispute the fact that our children are not learning how to read, write, and do arithmetic. The NEA is the evil eye. They are not friends to parents, students, nor teachers. If they were, most teachers would not be making minimum wage type salaries, and our children would not be number 18 when it comes to K through 12 education. We must change this because it is not a privilege to have quality education. It is a necessity. It's not about black versus white, Democrat versus Republican. It's simply about excellence and remaining a superpower. We must do this by putting the power back into the parents' hands and letting them decide which is the best school. And we must have mechanisms such as opportunity scholarships, tax credits, charter schools to do this, and let the communities decide what is the best method. And unfortunately, we must have one judicial system, one based on equality and justice, not skin color, culture, or power. Let's look at this drug issue. We have a different set of laws for crack because it's associated with the have-nots. And then we have less punitive consequences for cocaine. Both of these drugs have devastated all communities. And no, I have not used any illegal drugs, and I will have a very harsh policy when it comes to any illegal drug use in this nation. And we cannot let our presidents buy their way out of injustice. And finally, it's important that we have economic development in all communities. The Community Reinvestment Act is one of the greatest pieces of civil rights legislation, and we must ensure that it stays intact because our home ownership in the Hispanic and African American communities have increased by 62% and 58%. This is what the American dream is about. Come be a part of a breath of fresh air. Come and let's support someone that's going to stand firm on these issues. Get to know Angel Rocker, www.angelrocker.com. And I want to send out a message to Hillary. She keeps going around saying it takes a village to raise a child. Her interpretation of a village is not like the old African proverb. She thinks it takes government to raise children. It takes parents and communities to raise children. And by the way, you cannot have a village if you are pro-choice and are killing our children. Villages have children and parents. And I must send out a message to my own community and to other minorities. The Democrats are our enemies. They are beating us across our backs like monkeys. Now let me explain this because I want to make sure the reporters interpret this correctly. When I was in South Africa, an African tribal leader told me a story of how you catch a monkey. He said you have a cage, you put a banana in that cage, and when that monkey comes, he grabs onto that banana. And then the door slams, and his enemy comes up behind him, and he beats him until he gets in that cage. But the ironic thing is that the monkey always holds on to the banana. The message is this: the Democrats are beating us across our backs with the same old rhetoric, the same old issues, the same government policies that do not work. America, we must move forward. The past is the past. We must work together. We must move and do what is right and protect this country. And I'm going all over the country. I'm reaching out to all of God's children. I'm bringing them to the Republican Party. And on this voter registration train, you're going to find the spirit of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Mary's blessings, Job's faith, and Joseph's unconditional love. Paul prepared these tracks, and Martin Luther King Jr. will be feeding the hungry along the way, while Colin Powell will be collecting the 10 commandments for each passenger's ticket. We must have more faith in the message, for the messenger is only a woman or a man, and we must believe in this message. And let me tell you, Jesus is the overseer of this train, for he performed the first blood transfusion. Jesus is the porter. He boarded this train in Nazareth, a dirty, unclean city, but he performed the cleanest job on earth when he took the cross. I'm talking about the holy cross, and redirected history. And when this journey ends, and when this voter registration train finally reaches its destination, all of God's children can join hands because we will be victorious in the year 2000 and feel proud when he looks down at us and say, "Good job, my great and faithful servants." Come be a part of this train. Let's help rock the house in the year 2000. www.angelrocker.com, and God bless you, and let's be victorious in the year 2000. Thank you.